Hey you guys, welcome to my channel. This is Nayeli, and for today's video I'm going to be sharing with you guys my newest perfume collection. And basically this is my very first collection to begin with, because I honestly couldn't really afford purchasing a lot of fragrances because they tend to be kind of expensive. And honestly, only one of the perfumes that I'm going to go through today is one that I bought with my own money. The other three were given to me by my boyfriend. Even though a lot of these perfumes are a little bit pricey, I think that they are good investments to have, especially if you start gathering more and more fragrances. You're able to get more use out of them, you're able to develop your own scent and just really decide the things that you like and you don't like. So I'm going to be sharing with you guys a lot of sweet and floral scents. So if you guys aren't super into that kind of stuff, then I'm sorry, this may not be the video for you. But if you are, then I think you're in for a treat, because I personally really enjoyed all of these fragrances. Some of them they're not necessarily similar, they don't smell the same, but they're similar in the sense that they can go into the categories of floral and fruity scents. Although I do have to say that there is kind of a curveball within my little mini collection. I'll tell you guys later on in the video. First off, I'm going to be sharing with you guys my very first legit fragrance that I purchased. And it is actually Idole from Lancome. And this is what it looks like in its box. And of course they have them in multiple sizes, but I purchased mine in the 25 milliliters or the 0.8 fluid ounces. So it is quite small. It's not the largest size that they have available. The largest is actually pretty tall. What I found really interesting about this one is that it is super duper thin. It's just very dainty. It looks, I don't know, just very feminine and it smells very feminine. So initially I was going to purchase La Vie Est Belle from Lancome as well, because I had just smelled it from the magazines, you know, when they have those little tear-offs that you can scratch at that you can sniff at, and I really liked it. But then when I went to the actual Macy's store, it was a little too much for me. It was a little too sweet. I asked the girl at the counter what her recommendation was for something that's similar but not as sweet, and she recommended me this one. And I honestly feel like it wasn't the smartest decision to go with what someone else told me. I should have just gone with my own gut and maybe kept looking around, or maybe just come back some other time, because I wasn't fully in love with it, if I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys. It is a really nice scent, and yes, while it's not as overpowering as La Vie Est Belle, it is, I feel like it just smells quite a bit like alcohol to me. The alcohol kind of takes away from the actual scent, or maybe it's just that it's a more fresher scent than it is sweet. So that's the reason why I originally wasn't a huge fan of it. I just kind of bought it because the girl told me, which is honestly a really dumb decision. But I have it now, and I have used a little bit of it. I've used just under half of it, and it's a nice scent. It is probably more on the fresh side. If you like more fresher scents that aren't ridiculously sweet, then this may be something for you to look into. But some of the top notes on this one are bergamot, juicy pear, pink peppercorn, with the middle notes being of rose and jasmine. And the base has white musks, vanilla, patchouli, and cedar wood. So when I smell it, it is very clean, but I think that's what it is. I think it's more so the fact that it's a very clean floral and not super sweet that makes me be I'm not the hugest fan of it. And I also kind of feel like that's not necessarily what I want for myself, and so whether it fits with my body chemistry or not is kind of goes out the window, because it just is not what I normally want to go for. I want to go for something that's a little bit sweeter, but not as sweet as La Vie Est Belle. It is very nice, but I feel like somehow it's just not everything that I want it to be, because I gravitate for sweeter scent rather than fresher scents. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm being very harsh on it. It is a nice scent. It's just not my scent, I guess is what I would say. And I'll still use it quite a bit. ever since I got it, I have been using it, as you can tell. And then when I spray it, I feel like I don't use a lot of it, because before I used to be scared of using it all up super quickly. So then I feel like other people can't sense the scent of it, and I'm wearing it, so yeah. But that's my fault. That's not the fault of the perfume at all. But sometimes I would just wonder, like, do people just not smell me wearing this? Because no one's ever really told me, like, oh, you smell really good. Until kind of recently, a coworker did mention it to me that she liked the scent. I think this is probably just more of a scent of, like, I want to wear something, but I don't want to, like, show out, you know? It's just a nice fresh scent. However, I do feel like the more that I've been using it, the more that I feel comfortable wearing it. So yeah, I think that it is just more so a comfortable scent now for me. So now I just kind of feel like yay, like it's one of my scents. But now that I have more perfumes, I feel like I'm just pushing it off to the side a little bit. Which I think is natural, because I want to get more use out of the other ones as well. Alrighty, so moving on to probably the most exciting one for me is this Beyond Romance by Ralph Lauren, and this is what the box looks like. And here's the actual container. And I really like how the bottle is kind of like this matte glass. It's really kind of different and interesting. This one I was so interested in purchasing. I just couldn't bring myself to pay for it. Ever since the first time I sprayed it, I fell in love with it. And I was like, this is the scent. Like, the next scent that I purchase is going to be this one. Yes. This one is so sweet. I just genuinely like this one. I feel like, I don't know why, I feel like it reminds me of my childhood. I don't know if I like smelled someone that had this perfume at some point, but I am in love with this one. I feel like this is probably the one that is more me. Because I just recently bought it, I haven't worn it very much, but I definitely think that I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this one. Either I will because I love it, or I won't because I don't want to use it up. I feel like this is such a perfect blend of floral and fruity fragrances. The way that it's described is a floral woody musk, and the top notes for this one surprisingly are mandarin, bergamot, and raspberry colons. I don't know how to pronounce that last word. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised about the mandarin, because I don't normally like going for very citrusy scents, especially grapefruit. For some reason, like when I've tried them in like Bath and Body Works, they're just, I feel like they just kind of clash with my personal scent. So I was very surprised that this one had mandarin in it, such a citrusy fruit. On the middle notes, you will find rose centifolia, jasmine, and lily of the valley. And its base notes are black vanilla, white musks, and I believe something that sounds like cashmere, like cashmerian or something like that. Or cashmeran. So I don't know what I wrote. I don't know what it is that I'm getting from it the most. I just know that it's a very captivating fragrance and very sweet, very young. So I think that this can also work super well for teenagers. I feel like I can't recommend this one enough, but it also depends on the type of scents that you are into. So if you're not into very sweet scents, then you may not like this one, but I do, so I adore it. So next is the odd of the four, which is the Hypnotic Poison by Dior. And here's the packaging. This one I was just very intrigued about, because whenever I would look up YouTube videos, a lot of people just genuinely really liked this scent. It would just be like an immediate like, oh yes, this is a good one, whenever they would do like blind tests and stuff like that. When I went to find my first perfume, I actually went in looking for the Dior one, but they told me they haven't been selling that one for a really long time. So that's why I ended up kind of trying to find something last minute then. But I was pretty sure that I wanted to purchase this particular one, and surprisingly enough, my boyfriend got this for me for Christmas, which was really sweet of him. But it was really interesting, because the first time that I smelled this one, it wasn't really my style. I was kind of worried. I was like, oh my gosh, he just paid so much money for this one and I may not even wear it. But after the first time of smelling, I think the reason why is that I didn't give it enough time to kind of dry into my skin. But no, I've been wearing it like 2 other times and I genuinely really like this. I don't know if he likes it as much as I do, but I really, really like this scent. It's kind of funny because I feel like one of my aunts smells like this, so I think it may just be the musk. I really doubt that she has Hypnotic Poison, just because it sounds very like sensual and she's not like that at all. But you never know. I don't know why, but I can even feel like I smell apple and I don't think there's any apple in this. So there was just something very unique and different about this scent. Well, not exactly unique because I've smelled it before, but I just feel like it's in its own category. This scent is like the main character. It's just very present, you know, like if someone is wearing this scent, like, you'll know that they've arrived. At the same time, I just kind of feel like it is very mature, so I don't know necessarily that it's super fitting for me based off of just the scents that I like in general and my age as well. I mean, I feel like I'm in my early 20s, but I'm already closer to 30 than I have been to 20. I worry that if I'm gonna be out and about, that people are gonna say like, oh, who smells like an old person? But hopefully that's not the case. I'm gonna continue to wear it and hopefully I don't get called out on it. But I personally really enjoyed this scent. On the description of it is that it's a warm and sweet gourmand, and initially I didn't really know what gourmand meant, but essentially they're kind of like notes that are edible, created with top notes of things like honey or vanilla or chocolate. And for this one, I can definitely smell a lot of the vanilla. And in addition to that, other key notes are bitter almond, sambac, jasmine, and vanilla. So I'm thinking that probably the scent I'm getting from it is the almond, because the jasmine and vanilla, as you can kind of already tell from my other fragrances, are notes that overlap. And I think that I do tend to gravitate towards those notes as well. I would probably say that it's more like potion rather than poison. This is what a love potion would smell like. It just envelops you. It's very sensual and mature. And I'm here for it. I'm so here for this fragrance. I know that there is also a poison, not hypnotic poison, but poison. So I think that also may be one that people gravitate towards a lot, but I haven't smelled that one myself, so I don't know how different it is. I'd be curious to smell that one as well, to kind of figure out the differences and to see if maybe I would like that one a little bit more than this one. Even though it has all of those sexy feels to it, I think also that, I don't know, there's just something about it that's very warm and inviting. And maybe that's also plays into the hypnotic poison about this. Maybe the person who wears this is, you know, out on the hunt and is very seemingly warm and inviting, but kind of hooks you in with this scent. Which is not really what I'm trying to do. I already have my man. Regardless, I think that is still a very elegant, very mature scent that I very genuinely like and that I was very surprised by. So I would definitely recommend you guys to give it a try if you all are ever at Sephora or Ulta. I believe Gabriel got this one at Sephora. I'm so sorry, but I totally forgot to tell you guys the sizes of all of these. But the Ralph Lauren Beyond Romance was in 3.4 fluid ounces or 100 milliliters. Hypnotic Poison was 30 milliliters or 1 fluid ounce. Okay, and last but not least, I have the Daisy Oh So Fresh by Marc Jacobs. This is the largest fragrance that I have at the moment, coming in at 125 milliliters or 4.2 fluid ounces, so it is huge. This top part of it makes it look even bigger, but I think it is so darling, so adorable, and just the feel of the little flowers, they're actually like very soft and kind of silicone-y, so I very much enjoy this. I feel like I'm gonna rip it every time that I try to open it, but the more and more I use it, I realize like it's not gonna happen. Just try to go like this. Anyways, when it came to this one, I kind of wanted to try the original Daisy, but I know what it smells like on certain people, but Again, as I had told you guys before, my issue with a lot of fragrances is that I don't really know how they're going to fit with my specific body chemistry and my own scent. I was a little bit scared about this one, but again, I haven't used it a crazy amount of times, but I do genuinely enjoy this one. This one, like its name says, it is quite fresh of a scent. Let me actually spray it first. And I feel like every time that I smell it, I get a little bit of the original Daisy fragrance, but this one is different. If you've ever smelled the original Daisy, you can definitely tell that they're from the same family because some of those notes are still present in this one. Yeah, I honestly feel like this one isn't necessarily my favorite either, just because it is in that realm of a little bit more fresh rather than super sweet. It does have some sweet notes in there, however the main ones are fresh. The key notes that you will find are the red raspberry, wild rose, and warm plum. And other notes are pink grapefruit and soft musks, which if you were to compare with the original you will find wild berries, particularly strawberry, white violet, jasmine, and sandalwood. So from the sounds of it, it seems like maybe I should try the original Daisy by myself. This is still a really nice scent that is very reminiscent of the original. The Daisy one, I feel like so many people know about it that it's kind of overused, and I think that's the reason why I didn't want to purchase that specific one. But I'm kind of thinking that maybe that one may be more fitting to me personally. But nevertheless, this is still a really nice fragrance. Now that I kind of smell into it a little bit more, this one is probably fresher than this one from Idole. So if you are more into fresh scents, you actually may want to look into one of these, because although you can find some sweet notes within as well, primarily the scent is more so of a fresh. But what I really like about this scent is that I think it works so well for every day. I think that this one just lends itself to truly becoming a go-to scent for a lot of people, and myself included. I think that I'm going to get a lot of use of it, of course, because there's so much of it in this bottle. I think what I really wanted from my perfumes would be to purchase a perfume that I could use every single day and have these little one-off perfumes that I could use for special occasions or just more so for the weekend, not completely overuse them to where I have to be purchasing them so often. So I really like that about this one, that I can genuinely just wear it all the time and it can be my everyday scent. The reason why I have gone into, or I've really wanted to go into the perfume world is because I honestly just want to mask a lot of like my own scent, and I feel like it's kind of an exaggeration because I always find myself asking Gabriel, my boyfriend, do I smell bad? Do I smell bad? And I feel like it's just something inside of me that tells me like, oh, you may not smell very good. And I never had a personal perfume. I was either borrowing them or buying stuff from Bath and Body Works, which, you know, are scents that don't last as long, and so I wanted to have my own scent that I could call my own, so that could be like the first thing that you get from me. I don't know, I just tend to be very self-aware about my own personal body scent. I feel like I don't want anybody to like smell me if I just start to sweat, or if like my underarms start to smell and things like that. Like I feel like other people don't really smell that, but the fact that I can smell it like just freaks me out, and so I want to prevent that as much as possible. So that's kind of my journey and the reason why I have been trying to venture into the perfume world, and I am so glad that I have. These are a really strong foundation for me, and I'm very excited to try out different things later on, but for now, these are more than enough for me. So I hope that I covered at least one of the fragrances that you may be interested in. I hope that you guys found this helpful, and I hope that y'all enjoyed this video. If there are any recommendations that you may have for me, I would love for you guys to leave them in the comments down below, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye!